Uday Bhanja, welcome to you to your favorite YouTube channel, Uday Bhanja's English, or Learn English with Uday Bhanja. Today's video is about the past simple. Past simple means that was the form and the use of past simple. At first, we should know about the form of past simple. My student Kunima Das from Madhupur will assist me. Yes, Kunima, at first you can write form. That means its form is subject plus V2. Subject plus V2. What is V2? V2, that means the past form. V2 means verb 2. That means the second form or the past form of the verb. The past form of the verb. Here are some of the examples of V2. At first, you can give a look at the blackboard. Here is the column for V1 and here is another column for V2. And just like now you can see, the V2 or the past form of go is went. And the past form of take is took. And the past form of decide is decided. And the past form of see, that is saw. But now a question arises in the mind of mine. What is the past form of the verb saw? What is the past form of the verb saw? That means it is a question of mine towards you. That means if it is possible on the part of you to say or to tell me about the past form of saw. In the description box, I have already mentioned the past form of the verb saw. But at first, I think that you should think for a while. But you should ask yourselves, and if you might have or you might have known the answers. So at first you will have to reflect yourselves. Let's take some of the examples of the past simple. Number 1, declarative, and its example is Jyoti played cricket. Jyoti is a student of mine and she belongs to Olsai. That means Olosai. And she is my favorite student. Only for this reason, I am trying to write examples using her name. Yes, Jyoti played cricket and it is the declarative pattern. And the second one, that is yes no interrogative pattern. Yes no interrogative pattern. And that is, did Jyoti play cricket? And the third one, that is negative. Jyoti did not play cricket. Negative. And then negative interrogative. And its example is, did not Jyoti play cricket? Or you can write, did Jyoti not play cricket? That means you can write, did not Jyoti play cricket? That is right. Or you can write, did Jyoti not play cricket? And that is also right. Now, it is time for us to know about the use of the past simple. That means we should know about the use of the past simple. That means in which regards, in which spheres do we use the past simple? Use number 1. The past simple is used to talk about, and that is common. The past simple is used to talk about. Use number 1, or I, the first use. An action that began and ended in the past. An action that began and ended in the past means that means that action must start in the past. That action should have started in the past and should have its ending in the past. So to make the example live, I am going to show you a perfect example. That means something or an action that began or ended in the past. Yes, now Anup. Look what Anup is going to do. Look, give a close look at Anup. That means if you give a look at the coconut, you have known it that Anup is breaking. Anup is breaking a coconut. But after some time, if I shall ask you what Anup did, or what did Anup do, and at that time, you must reply me that Anup broke a coconut. Anup broke a coconut. That was the action of breaking began in the past. And also, the action of breaking ended in the past. So in this way, broadly speaking, we can say that the action that began or ended in the past, while talking about it, we use the past simple tense part. The action that began and ended in the past can be classified into two broader divisions. The action that began or ended in the past can be divided into two divisions. What are they? What are they? That means the action that began or ended in the past are two types. The actions that began or ended in the past are two types. What are they? The first one must have happened in a moment. Must have happened in a moment. That means that took place for a short time, and that is known as must have happened in a moment. Here, give the example. That means give a look at the example. Anup broke a coconut, and the breaking of a coconut began in the past, ended in the past, but it happened only in a moment. Yes or no? And as it happened only in a moment or for a short time, only for this reason, we can say that the action that began or ended in the past can be divided into two sectors, and the first one, that is must have happened in a moment. The second one is must have happened over a period of time. Must have happened over a period of time. That means that must begin, that means that began and ended in the past, but it took place for a long period of time. Example, the English ruled India. That means you must have known it clearly that the English ruled India for more than 200 years. And the ruling of the English began in the past and ended in the past. So, broadly speaking, the actions that began and ended in the past can be classified, can be divided into two sectors or two groups or two divisions. And the first one is that it must have happened in a moment. And the second one is that it must have happened over a period of time. Example, Anup broke a coconut, and it refers to an action must have happened in a moment. And the second one must have happened over a period of time, and the example is the English ruled over India. Next, now you can see. I am about to give you an example of General Dyer, who was responsible for the Jallianwala Bagh massacre. And that means while talking about the English, I think that I should make a glimpse of General Dyer. Please come here, General Dyer.
I'm General Dyer. It's my God. I am General Dyer. It's my God. Soldier, start fire.
This scene was about the role of General Dyer, who was responsible for the Jallianwala Bagh massacre. So, it also began or ended in the past. So, I have given you such type of example only to understand you in a better way about the use of the past simple, and that is action began or ended in the past, and the difference is something must have happened in a moment or something must have happened over a period of time in the past. It's use number 2i. That means the past simple is used while talking about an action that happened again and again as a habit in the past. Once again, that means while talking about an action that happened again and again as a habit or as a past habit, and we use the past simple. Example.
Whoa, bro, revive me. One knock.
To make the example, an action that happened again and again as a habit in the past, I have taken the help of this student. That means now he is a good student, and in his matriculation examination, he secured 92 percentage of marks. But what you have seen just before, and it was his past habit. That means while he was in class 8, at that time, he kept himself busy in playing mobile games. And only for this reason, we can say that means it was a habit in the past, but now he has given up such type of bad habit. So only for this reason, while talking about something or an action that happened again and again as a habit in the past, we use the past simple. Kurima, you can write. Example. The example is Sanjaya used to play mobile games. That means the action of playing mobile games happened again and again as a habit in the past, but now it has been stopped. So while talking about an action that happened again and again as a habit in the past, we use the past simple. Just give a look at the NB or notable. That means while talking about something that a person did again and again as a habit in the past, we use the past simple. But in this regard, we also use two modals instead of the past simple. And what are the two modals? The first one is used to, and the second one is would. That means in the case of the actions that a person, or in the case of action that a person did again and again as a habit, we use the past simple, or we use the modal used to, or we use the modal would. So just give a look at the examples I have taught you just before. That means instead of past simple, we use two modals, used to and would, while talking about something that a person did again and again as a habit. Here are the three examples. And the examples are about my dearest student, Abilipsa. You may ask me why she is my dear student. Because I love dancing. And she is a good dancer. And one day, I went to Madhupur school to attend her musical show or dance program. And then I came to know that she is a reputed dancer in our locality. So in this way, the movement of her legs is quite likewise. The movement of her legs is quite extraordinary. Okay, give a look at the blackboard. Abhilipsa danced very well, and here the past form of the verb is used. That means subject Abhilipsa and danced verb. This sentence takes past simple tense form. It is right. And then the second sentence, Abhilipsa used to dance very well. And here, instead of the past simple, used to is used. And this sentence is also right. And another one, Abhilipsa would dance very well. And here, the modal would is used. And that is also right. That means, so far as the past simple is concerned, and about the action that a person did again and again as a habit, we use the past simple, the modal used to, or the modal would. But one fact, we should keep it in our mind. And what is the fact? Give a look at two examples. The first one, he was ill last month. And this particular sentence takes past simple tense form. And it is right. And another one is, he would be ill last month. And in this particular sentence, the modal would is used. But it is the wrong one. And you may ask me why this particular sentence is wrong. Because its rule is, while talking about past action, we can use past simple, the past simple, or used to, or would. While talking about past action, we use the past simple, or would, or used to. This sentence, it is not a past action, and it refers to a past state. Kunima, you can write past state. It refers to a past state. And as it refers to a past state, so while talking about past state, we mustn't use would. If we use would, and the sentence will be ungrammatical, will be incorrect. So, while talking about past state, we cannot use would. Another notaben is here. And this notaben is about the use of used to. That means while talking about something or an action that happened, but in case of how often it happened, that means when we say how often, something, that means an action happened. When we say how often something happened in the past, and in this regard, we cannot use used to. That means when we say something happened in the past, we use used to. But one restriction is there, how often. And if the sentence refers to how often, that means how many times. And if the sentence refers to how often, that means how many times, we cannot use used to. Example, he helped me. And this sentence takes past simple. It is right. Another example, he used to help me. This sentence takes the modal used to. And it is right. But next, he used to help me many times. That means it is wrong. Why? Because many times, the expression many times refers to how often something happened. That means how often the activity of helping happened. And only for this reason, in this regard, that means we cannot use the modal used to. Once again, that means in case, that means if in a sentence how often is mentioned, how often means here many times. Here many times, that means how often. And how often is mentioned, we mustn't or we cannot use the modal used to. That means while talking about imaginary conditionals, the CP, that means the conditional part of imaginary conditional, takes past simple tense form. That means the conditional part of imaginary or unreal conditional takes past simple. And what is the imaginary conditional? Now give a look at the student and that student will tell you.
If I were a bird, I would fly. If I were a king, I would make my queen. No, I would make you my queen.
That means here is a boy and there is a girl, and the boy, this boy has an imagination that one day he will be a king, and the day when he will be a king, and on that particular day he would make her his queen. So what it is? It is an imaginary conditional. So if I were a king, and it is the conditional part of the imaginary conditional, and only for this reason it takes past simple tense. That means the past simple is used while talking about shorter actions. And what shorter actions are? Shorter actions and longer actions depend on the meaning. That means whether an action is shorter or longer, it depends on meaning. But generally we can say, the action that took less time to happen, that is shorter action. The action that took less time to happen, that is shorter action. And the action that took more time to happen, that is longer action. But actually, it depends on the meaning. Just like now, can say, give a look at the worker. And the worker was digging the ground, working in the field. And while the worker was digging the ground, just at that time, his wife, the worker's wife, arrived. And then she gave a call at the worker. And the name of the wife of the worker is Monica. And Monica called, "Hi sweetheart, come here." So what the example is? That means the worker who was working, and his name was Sonia. And the example is, while Sonia was working, that means while Sonia was working, and another one is Monica called him. And the action of working, or the action working, took more time. So it is a longer action, or LA. And Monica called him, it took less time. So it is known as a shorter action. And SA, its short form is SA. That means as it is a shorter action, so the shorter action takes past simple tense form. Thus I think that everything regarding the use of past simple is quite clear to you. And the videos that I have made and that I shall make, and all the videos will be only for the purpose of education, nothing else. That means if you think my videos are interesting, please like, share, comment it. And above all, if you think that my channel is or will be useful to you, please subscribe it. Thank you.